On November 2, 2023, Russia's leading natural gas and liquefied natural gas project, Arctic LNG-2, was placed on the U.S. sanctions list. Penalties may also be imposed on buyers of fuel produced at the Russian plant. Vessels carrying liquefied gas also came under the restrictions. U.S. officials said that Washington's goal is to systematically reduce Russia's revenues from energy sales.
In terms of the structural decline in oil and gas revenue that Russia is confronting, we are working as hard as we can to accelerate that trend. We do that through two mechanisms. We leveled new sanctions against a project in the Arctic LNG-2, which is Novatek's flagship LNG project, which Novatek set in motion with the aspiration of developing Russia as the largest LNG exporter in the world. Our objective is to kill that project, and we are doing that through our sanctions, working with our partners in the G7 and beyond.
According to Reuters, Russian oligarch and friend of Vladimir Putin, Leonid Mikhelson, owns a 60% stake in the Russian LNG project. Chinese, French and Japanese investors owned 10% of the shares each. According to the Kommersant newspaper citing sources in the Russian government, on December 25th, the foreign shareholders announced the freezing of their participation in the project. They also refused to finance the plant.
After the shareholders' refusal, the project has no valid long-term contracts left, which could threaten to default on the 9.5 billion euros external financing. The sanctioned company of Putin's friend has already failed to start gas deliveries to China, from publication in Reuters.
According to High North News, the U.S. has given foreign companies the opportunity to curtail their participation in the project until January 31, 2024. Just at that time, the plant had to start producing and exporting liquefied natural gas. French companies' officials said they were assessing the impact of the latest round of sanctions, and Japan's industry minister Yasutoshi Nishimura said that the country intends to fulfill their restrictions. At the same time, Chinese state-owned oil companies have asked the U.S. government to exempt them from the sanctions, a Beijing official told the reporters.
The U.S. is seeking to derail all ancillary processes, be that the final settlement of the shipping solution or the financing of transactions themselves. Victor Katona, lead crude analyst at Kepler, in a comment to High North News.
According to High North News, the Russian company does not have the Arctic-class tankers needed to transport liquefied gas. Production of the vessels has been delayed due to difficulties in supplying equipment to Russian Federation. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Kristina Dombrovska, UATV News.